I think
sudah sangat jelas sekali
earlier
apa
it
yang
was
disampaikan
very
oleh
clear what was
Pak Menteri
conveyed
BUMN.
by
Saya mungkin hanya nambah-nambahi
the
saja
Minister of State-owned enterprise. I might just add to it that
sesuai
according to
yang
what
sebetulnya sudah saya
I
perintahkan 7
actually
tahun yang
observed
lalu
7 years ago,
secepatnya
to
menggabungkan,
immediately consolidate
konsolidasikan,
and
reorganisasi
consolidate
dari
the organization
BUMN
from
kita
of
yang
our
menurut
state-owned
saya saat itu
enterprise,
sangat terlalu
which
banyak.
in my opinion
Tadi sudah
were too
disampaikan
many at
oleh
the
Pak
time.
Menteri BUMN
The Minister
ada
of State-owned
108,
enterprise said
sekarang
earlier
sudah
there were 108. Now it has
turun menjadi 41.
dropped to 41.
Ini
This is
sebuah fondasi yang
a
sangat
very
baik
good foundation
dan plasterkan.
that
Baik.
is plastered well.
Yang paling penting
The most important
ke depan
thing
yang ingin
in the
kita
future,
bangun
what
adalah
we want to
nilai-nilai.
build our values,
Core value. Yang kita bangun itu.
so that the name
Sehingga yang namanya
so
pemilihan
that the name
Bapak itu adalah
of
orang-orang yang
the election of the ladies and gentlemen
terseleksi.
is the people who have
Jadi jangan
been
sampai
very
Anda
elected,
tidak
have selected.
percaya.
So then until someone doesn't believe in themselves,
Sekali lagi,
that's what
saya sampaikan dan sebetulnya dulu sudah saya sampaikan. Karena yang ingin kita bangun adalah profesionalisme.
I'll say it because what we want to build professionalism is, and I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how to build a work culture.
Dimulai.
This must be started.
Jangan sampai yang namanya
Don't let
BUMN
the
itu
name
seperti
state-owned
birokrasi.
enterprise is like a
Ruwetnya
buri answer. It's complicated.
Bapak Ibu bisa
Ladies and gentlemen,
membayangkan
you can imagine
mau
that
izin yang
there
namanya
are
pembangkit listrik itu 259 izin.
259 permits for power plants.
Meskipun namanya
Although the
beda-beda,
names are not
ada izin,
different,
rekomendasi,
there are permits, there are recommendations,
ada surat pernyataan
there
sama
is a
saja.
statement letter. It's the same as permits,
Itu jumlahnya
and that's 259 permits.
Kalau dibawa koper,
If you can carry a suitcase, maybe
dan waktu yang diperlukan
maybe
bisa
10 suitcases are
izin
there,
itu
and the
bisa
time
3 tahun,
it
4 tahun,
take
5 tahun,
can be
6 tahun,
looking
7
for a
tahun.
permit can
Ada yang
be
7 tahun
3
lagi
years
selesai.
or 5 years, 70 years per day.
Seperti ini
Some
yang harus
7 years complain to me.
dipangkas.
Like this, that must be
Tidak boleh
trimmed. It is not allowed
sampai
to work
berbelit-belit
in state-owned enterprise. It can be like that.
Nggak bisa lagi.
Can't anymore.
Siapa yang mau
Who wants to invest?
berbelit-belit seperti
It is complicated like that already in the ministry. It is
masuk
complicated
ke
in the
BUMN,
area. It is
berbelit-belit.
complicated to get into SOS. It's complicated and everyone runs away.
Sehingga
So
kalau yang lalu-lalu
that in the past,
BUMN yang
their
banyak
state-owned enterprise were too many, too often we protected.
santet tambahi
6 added BMN,
suntik BUMN
6 with BMN injection.
terlalu sekali
Sorry, it's too despicable.
dan akhirnya
And in the end,
nilai-nilai
that reduced the values that I said earlier.
kompetisi nggak berani,
Not daring to
saing
compete,
nggak berani,
not daring to compete,
mengambil risiko nggak berani.
not daring to take risks.
Bagaimana profesionalisme
That's
kalau
how about professionalism it is not implemented.
jadi tidak ada
So there is no such
proteksi
thing
lagi.
as protection anymore.
Yang namanya
Forget
proteksi,
it.
proteksi.
If we want to take this one to global,
Yang ini mau kita bawa
we want to take this one to global.
bersaing
Compete internationally.
internasional jadi ya mulai harus
So we have to start.
menata
We have to start managing
adaptasi pada model
adaptation
bisnis
to
yang
our business model,
teknologinya penting ini.
technology, and the most important.
Dunia sudah kayak gini,
The world is like this.
revolusi Revolusi Industri
The
4.0,
Industrial Revolution 4.0,
disrupsi teknologi,
the destruction of technology, there is a pandemic.
dan kalau
And
saudara-saudara
if you
tidak
don't respond to
merespon
this
dari
uncertainty
ketidakpastian
by
ini
adapting as
dengan adaptasi secepat-cepatnya,
quickly as possible,
kalau Pak Menteri sampai
if
kepada
the
saya,
minister comes to
"Pak, ini
me,
ada perusahaan seperti ini,
sir, there is a
kondisinya
company
begini."
like
Kalau
this, the
saya
condition is
tutup aja.
state-owned enterprise like this. If it was me, just close into rescue. Rescue what if it's like what?
Dan Bapak Ibu semuanya
And ladies
sekali
and
lagi
gentlemen,
sudah terpilih,
now that
terseleksi.
have been selected,
Saya
just
nggak
smart.
ingin
I don't
ngajari
want to
ilmu
teach
manajemen,
management,
Bapak.
you are
Jauh
much
lebih jauh.
better.
Jadi sekali lagi,
So once again,
adaptasi pada model
adapting to business
model
models,
bisnis yang baru,
new
dan
business
teknologi.
models, and technology.
Ada yang sudah masuk ke sana,
Some
sudah
have gone there already.
cepat mengadaptasi. Saya
Adapt
lihat
quickly, I see.
perbankan, bank-banknya,
Banking banks
sudah mulai masuk ke sana
are
ya.
starting to enter there.
Telkomsel, ya,
Telkomsel,
saya lihat. Tapi
I
yang
have
lain,
seen it.
belum.
But the others, what not very. Sorry.
Yang infrastruktur,
Infrastructure,
BUMN transportasi,
state-owned enterprise. Transportation, state-owned enterprise. Not yet.
dan kalau mau cepat,
And if you want to be fast,
kita beradaptasi.
we adapt.
Cara yang paling cepat
The quickest way
adalah berpartner.
is to partner.
Perusahaan global mana yang
Which
paling
global
baik?
company is the
Aja
best?
pasti mau dengan
As
kita juga.
we definitely want to be
Nilai
with us,
prospek ke depan,
to have been assessed for the future
tahun
prospect.
yang akan datang,
In the next
kita akan
10, 20
menjadi
years,
ekonomi
we will become the
terbesar
world top 4
dunia.
economies.
Siapa yang nggak mau?
Who doesn't want it?
Mau semua.
Wants all of them.
Jadi sekali lagi,
So once again,
tadi sudah disampaikan oleh
the minister has already said that
berani berkompetisi.
they compete.
Tolong dihitung karena
Please
apapun
count because everything
BUMN ini adalah
in this
perusahaan
BUMN
negara.
is a state
Social
company.
impact
The social impact
juga.
is also calculated.
Dan yang paling penting,
And most importantly,
review terus
continue to review the economy,
berhitung,
count,
kalkulasi,
calculate,
sehingga kita bisa tahu
so we can know what growth will be like in the future.
Jangan sampai lagi
Don't
karena
let it happen again
penugasan
because of a
pemerintah.
segment the government.
Saya bisa
I
menugaskan
can assist this a segment, the segment of
bangun jalan tol.
toll roads.
Tapi ya dihitung dong.
But wait, there's a
Ada
calculate.
kalkulasinya. Dan
And
diberitahu kalau Pak ini
I will be
di
notified.
internal rate of
If
return-nya
the
sekian.
IR has this amount of internal rate of return, it means that we need an injection from the stat budget.
Sekian. Jangan kalau pas dapat
Then if you get
penugasan
a
per
strong
bulan,
segment,
tidak ada
there
kalkulasi
is no
karena
calculate
penugasan,
it because of the segment.
kemudian ngambil pinjaman
You already
jangka
have a
pendek,
short-term loan
padahal
even though the
itu untuk
infrastructure
jangka panjang,
is for the
maka
long term. Have not found.
itu tugas saudara-saudara
That
untuk
guys,
hitung. Kalau ada
to
penugasan,
calculate if the segment,
kalau nggak logis,
if it's
ya
not
bukan
logical,
logis tapi
how
dengan
to make it
kalkulasi.
logical but with calculations.
Ini yang
This is
kultur yang dulu-dulu
the one
tinggalkan.
culture that used to live has already been left behind.
Karena sekali lagi yang namanya
Because
transformasi
name is
bisnis,
business
namanya
transformation,
teknologi.
the name of which is technology adoption, has become a necessity and we can't help it. We only count
Kita ini
us.
balapan.
We are
Bukan hanya
racing.
waktu
We
2
only
tahun.
have 2 years.
Bukan karena
Not because
2024 enggak.
2024
Waktu, kita
isn't.
hanya diberi
It's
waktu.
time. You are only
Kalau
given time.
negara ini
If we
melompatinya 2
want this
tahun,
country to jump for 2 years,
dengan menyiapkan
how to prepare
SDM-nya,
its
menyiapkan
human resource,
ekosistemnya,
to prepare its ecosystem,
masuk ke
then enter
teknologinya,
the technology,
adaptasi teknologinya,
adapt the
baru
technology.
kita bisa
Yes, we
negara ini
can.
melompat.
This country jumps.
Dan kita harus pontang-panting.
We have to fumble for it.
Mana yang perlu disuntik,
Which one
mana
needs to
yang
be injected?
diinjeksi, agar
Which
bisa
one needs
melompat.
to be injected so that this can jump quickly to adapt? It's the test of all of us like that.
Jadi, sama
So, it's the same.
untuk BUMN yang
For
berkaitan dengan
BUMN
pangan,
related to
berkaitan
food,
dengan
those
kesehatan,
related to
yang
health,
berkaitan dengan energi,
those related to energy.
ya, kalau mau cepat,
Yes,
ya
if you
partner.
want to be fast, then partner. Find a partner.
Pangan misalnya,
Food, for example, sugar.
7 tahun yang lalu
7 years
saya
ago,
datang
I
ke
came to a
pabrik
sugar
gula,
factory, a sugar factory, a
mesinnya
sugar
kayak gitu
factory.
gimana sih?
The machine was like
Memiliki
that. How can I
perekonomian
tell
yang
you
tinggi.
to have a
Nggak
high
mungkin.
yield? It's
Udah mereka
impossible.
ganti mesinnya,
I have
ganti mesinnya,
ordered to
terus
replace
saya
the
sambung.
machine and not the machine, but no one.
Saya bisa kerja.
I can't change this.
Caranya
If that's the way it is, over and over again.
ini karena kita penting sekali.
This is because we are very important, as stated by FAO, in the future conditions due to climate change, whose name is food security, is very important for a country. And it is also predicted that there will be a food crisis. This is our opportunity that is still very wide, still very big, but the designer should not be small. And in the future, for small business, the small one won't happen anymore. For the big ones, partner up. I once said I used to be 7 years ago, I came to Merauke. That's just a very wide expense. The water is abundant. When combined, Merauke, Mapi, Bafen Nickel, it's only 4.2 million. But it's impossible. Our state-owned enterprises alone there, that's not possible. The first requires a very large capital. The second requires technology. That was we don't have the ability to get there, so we are looking for partners. Actually, there are many, but we ourselves have never responded. We have opened the door. There is no response. How about me? Sometimes I'm often embarrassed and keep opening the door, but there's no responding there. It's an investment of thousands of trillions, but if we want to be big, we have to think big. We think big. How do we want to dream small? That's just one location, not many of our location. But allow us to create any kind of food estate, whether it's for rice, for corn, and others, a lot cassava, a lot, but that can be project-oriented, calculated. Health security in the future, this is also very important. With the pandemic we are facing right now, like or not, we have to fix our health infrastructure, our health facilities. It's very clear which side is the weakness. All people, the faster. Do reform in state or enterprise. As for health, do reform in a state-owned enterprise or BUMN. As for help, go to Bangladesh, open to India, even the data itself. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he doesn't respond. So he asked me twice. Already sent here. There is no follow-up. Because the most appropriate thing is we have to go from there. Cheap generic drugs. What is this? Why body? What is more important is the raw material for medicine. We have a lot of raw material sources.